Hi, this is the video for the Unit 2 test retake practice for Algebra 1 credit recovery. What it says at the top of your assignment is graph each of the following equations and state the slope, the y-intercept for y equals mx plus b, or state the x and y-intercepts for ax plus by equals c. All right, our first equation, number 1, is in the y equals mx plus b form. And so, when we have a y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b, remember that the slope is m, and b is the y-intercept. So in this particular case, the slope is 3, and the y-intercept is -7. Why is that important? Because when I am graphing a y equals mx plus b equation, I start with the y-intercept, in this case, -7. That's my first dot. And my slope is 3. So 3 is the same as 3 over 1, which means you go up 3 and over 1. So we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. So our line looks something like this. Now, to find the x and y-intercepts for a ax plus by equals c, we just plug in a 0 for whatever it is we're not trying to find. So let's say we're trying to find the x-intercept. We have 4x minus 0, because we're plugging in a y for 0, equals 8, which means essentially 4x equals 8, which means x equals 2. So the x-intercept is 2, 0. Right there. The y-intercept, well, we're going to plug in a 0 for x. So 4 times 0 minus y equals 8, which means basically minus y equals 8. Well, we don't want to know what negative y is. We want to know what positive y is. So we divide by -1. And we get y equals -8. So there. And we write 0, -8. And our line looks something like this. Alrighty, remember you can pause this video at any time. So, if in y equals mx plus b, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept, what is the slope for y equals -2x plus 1? If you said it is -2, you are correct. What is the y-intercept? If you said 1, you are correct. Won't let me write there, but the y-intercept is 0, 1. So we'd start right there, and we'd go down to over 1. Your line's going to look something like this. Here's another ax plus by, so it's another case where we're inserting 0 for whatever it is we don't want to know. If we want to know the x-intercept, that means we're plugging in a 0 for y. So 5x plus 3 times 0 equals 15. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, right? So I bring this down. I got 5x equals 15. My last step always when I'm solving an equation is I divide by 5. X equals 3. My x-intercept, it's not going to let me write it. I'm going to write it. Where am I going to write it? I'm going to write it down below. X-intercept is 3, 0. How about y? Well, I'm plugging in a 0 for x now. So 5 times 0 plus 3y equals 15. That means 3y equals 15, which I want to know what 1y is, not what 3y's are. So I divide by the number in front of y, and I get y equals 5. So the y-intercept is 0, 5. And so our line is going to look like this. Here are two more. Can you tell me what m is? What is m? What is the slope? It's right here. What is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is right there. To graph it, you put a dot in -6, and you go up 3/4. So your line looks something like this. Here again, if I want to know the x-intercept, I go -x plus 0 for y equals 7. So -x equals 7. So again, I want to know what positive x is, so I divide each side by -1, and I get x equals -7. So the x-intercept is, I'm going to have to write it downstairs again, I believe. Yeah. X-intercept equals -7, 0. The y-intercept, well, I just put in a 0 for x plus y equals 7. So that means y equals 7. So the y-intercept is 0, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2. So here's our line. Something like that. All right, the tables to the right show the price of producing vacuums and wants us to write the equation of the costs. So the first thing we have to do is ask ourselves, how much is it increasing from 23 to 36? And then from 36 to 49. How much does it go up by? Well, that's pretty easy. It goes up by 13, right? Plus 1, 3. So our m is 13. To figure out b, we have to supply what goes in front of here. We have to fill out the table. So 49 plus 13. 62. And we're going backwards when we go to 0. So what is 23 minus 13? It's 10. So b equals 10. So if our m is 13 and our b is 10, what is our y equals mx plus b equation? Well, all we have to do is insert a 13 for M and 10 for B, so it would be y equals 13x plus 10. 40 vacuums. What would it cost to produce 40 vacuums? Well, that means we have to plug in vacuums are X. It tells us right here. So we plug it in. What is 13 times 40 plus 10? I'm going to let you figure that out. Next question is how many vacuums were produced if the cost was 2,610? So the cost is Y. So what they're saying is 2610 equals 13x plus 10, and we have to solve that. So you would subtract 10, then you get 2600 equals 13x. And then you divide both sides by 13, and whatever 2,600 divided by 13, that is the number of vacuums. I'm going to let you figure that out. Here is another example of trying to make an equation from a table. We have to ask ourselves again, how much is it going up from 12 to 14.5 and from 14.5 to 17? Well, if you said plus 2.5, you are correct. So M equals 2.5. B is whatever goes before 12. What is 12 minus 2.5? If you said 9.5, you are correct. What would go down here for 4? 17 plus 2.5. And we already said that this is 9.5. So if our M is 2.5 and our B is 9.5, what is our Y equals M X plus B equation? Sorry, it's not letting me write up there. Y equals mx plus b. I plug in the 2.5 for M and the 9.5 for B. I'm sure you can do that. What would it cost to produce 1,500 pairs of shoes? Well, shoes are X, so it would be 2.5 times 1500 plus 9.5. Well, what is 2.5 times 1,500? It's 3750 plus 9.5. It would cost about $3,759.50. This is how many shoes were made if the cost was $10,007. So what we're saying here is that I spent $10,007 and we have to solve this for X. We subtract 9.5. And we get $9,997.50, and that equals 2.5x. So we divide both sides by 2.5. I'm going to let you figure that out. What is 9,997.50 divided by 2.5? That is your answer. Get it down and proceed to the next slide. All right. This is a motion detector question. So in a motion detector question, this side, the X side, is the distance in meters. That's how far away it is from the motion detector. The X has nothing to do with motion at all. It's just time. How many seconds have passed? Here's 1 second passed, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, etc. It goes all the way up to 10 seconds. And at 3 seconds, it's 70 meters away from the detector. At 6 seconds, it's also 70 meters away. At 8 seconds, it looks like it's about 35. At 0 seconds, it's at 30. So this graph tells us how far something is from a motion detector. So it says how far from the detector was the student when they began to walk. And we look over here. Here's where they began. What does that say? I think you can put that in there. It says how long did the student stand still for, and how far from the detector were they when they did this? Well, he's not getting closer or farther away from the detector, so he's standing still right here, right? In this section, between 3 and 6 seconds. So 6 minus 3 is 3 seconds. So 3 seconds is how long they were standing still. How far away were they? They were that far. Remember, this is meters. Find the equation of the line for the student was walking away from the detector. So that's this first section between here and here. Our y is 30. It starts at 30 and it goes up to 70. What is 70 minus 30? Well, it's 40, right? But you have to remember that we have to divide it by 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So what is 40 divided by 3? It's 13.3. So our m equals 13.3. So what would my y equals mx plus b equation be? It would be y equals 13.3x plus 30. How long did it take the student to reach the detector? What does that say right there? That's your answer. I'll let you write it down. That concludes our guided instruction for the Unit 2 retake practice. Thanks for signing in.